The cases of nearly 500 defendants from the Capitol insurrection continue to wind their way through the courts. Last night, the Department of Justice released video evidence from the case against Charles Donahoe, a president of a local chapter of the Proud Boys, the right-wing militia group that's accused of organizing the Capitol attack. Among the videos is footage of the Proud Boys gathering their forces just before the siege began, with one explicitly saying, "Let's take the Capitol." Another video shows a defendant admitting on camera that he stole a riot shield from police. But the most dramatic one shows the defendant, among several others, completely overwhelming a thin line of law enforcement officers who were trying to block them from advancing on the east side of the Capitol. I should also note that the graphics on that video were not added by NBC News. As we mentioned yesterday, we're also learning that many insurrection defendants have a history of violence, including Ryan Mock of Minnesota, who was arrested earlier this month. According to court filings, Mock once held a gun to 3 kids' heads, then pushed a woman who tried to intervene. In order to arrest him, the SWAT team had to be called. According to NBC's Scott McFarlane, prosecutors today alleged in court that following the insurrection, Mock threatened a witness multiple times when the FBI was soliciting tips to apprehend him. And yet, we're still seeing January 6th apologists like Senator Ron Johnson comparing the Capitol insurrectionists to the small minority of people who were arrested during the Black Lives Matter protests of last year, which were usually for minor offenses like curfew violations. In an exchange with D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser today, Senator Johnson appeared to suggest that the January 6th defendants are being treated unfairly by comparison.
Do you know how many people were arrested for the summer riots?
We've had dozens of people arrested over the last year.
How many are still being detained?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Do you know whether by using geolocation, did we go and arrest people that participated in the summer riots in their individual states, like we did with the January 6th breachers?
If you're asking about how the Federal Bureau of Investigation operates, you'll have to address those questions to them.
Meanwhile, just moments ago, NBC News reported that Speaker Pelosi informed the House Democratic Steering and Policy Committee that she will create a select committee to study the January 6th attack on the Capitol. And with me now is Elie Mystal, justice correspondent for The Nation. And Elie, let's go into this because we're the Proud Boys and the 3 Percenters and the Oath Keepers. We're starting to see a lot more sort of congealing that there were organized groups that were plotting and planning the attack. What does that mean for the cases of these individual people? Do we start to see conspiracy charges? What do you think happens next?
Yeah, Republicans, they're not sending their best, are they? They're sending criminals to go to the Capitol, aren't they? Yeah, what we hope now is that some of the more cowardly white domestic terrorists will start to flip on the organizing white domestic terrorists so that we can start to have real conspiracy charges being brought against the kind of overarching organization. That's kind of how a criminal investigation of this magnitude works. It's how it's supposed to work. You start by kind of arresting everybody, kind of the lowest level. Anybody, there were 800 people who breached the Capitol. All of them committed a crime. You kind of round all of them up. You kind of lean on the weakest among them, and you start to try to build charges against the actual organizers, the kingpins of the insurrection. We're starting to see that happen at the ground level in terms of these particular groups. What we're not seeing, so go ahead.
No, go.
What we're not seeing, though, and what I still need to see from this Justice Department is any kind of commitment or statement or ability to prosecute the true intellectual leaders of this movement, many of whom seem to be in Congress, right? Many of whom seem to be leaders of the Republican Party. What's happening right now, the analogy that I've made before, is that this would be like if after 9/11, the government said, well, we got the people on the planes, and we didn't go after Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and we didn't go after Osama bin Laden. We need to get the very top level people who planned, organized, and thought out this attack on our country. And I don't yet see Merrick Garland's Justice Department being willing to prosecute the powerful. They're willing to prosecute these kind of low-level people. And sure, we're trying to get this conspiracy charge together, but the actual power brokers who conceived of this attack, I don't see that yet, and I'm still hoping there's still time for me to see it. There's still time for them to do that work.